running around here. Alana has improved since the start of the season. Oh my word, what a goal that is from Luis Cruz. How's it going, everybody? My name is Stu. Welcome to the Deportivo La Coruña save here on FM24. Thanks for joining me in today's video, which is part 26. What does that even mean? But it's the 26th section of this save. So if you haven't watched it up until this point, you can jump on now if you'd like to. But there's a playlist in the top corner somewhere that'll take you back to the rest of the save that started us in the third tier of Spanish football. Spoilers, currently in the top flight and we're in the Champions League. Good times. And if you're excited to see how we get on in today's video, which is against Athletic Bilbao in the league and Inter Milan in the Champions League, don't forget to leave a big like on the video for me, and don't forget to subscribe as well. It's completely free to do so. You'll put a smile on his face. What's not to love? So, since you were last with us, it's been good, but it's been a bit rocky, as you can see. Result-wise, I mean, the last time you saw us was Manchester City. We have struggled a little bit, I've got to be honest. So Villarreal, we lost. We beat Getafe. We lost against Juventus. We drew against Girona. We beat Levante. We drew against Porto. We lost against Atleti not that long ago. And then we beat Espanyol. It's been a bit rough. It really has. I've been toying around with maybe looking for a different formation. The problem with changing the formation is the personnel we've got really fit this formation well. I don't think that's necessarily going to actually... I've got a little white thread on here. Oh, there we go. I don't necessarily know whether changing the formation is going to work because of the personnel that we've got. And the biggest issue of all is Da Costa. He's a playmaker, but he mainly is an attacking playmaker. I've kind of more just, because I've been using him as that, I've just been assuming that he'd be relatively decent defensive. No, he's the opposite. So that is going to really restrict us in what we do, because our Alana is very much that. He's not great defensively, but he is defensive. So that is where the problem would be, because I'll just go back to what we'd used last season, the 4-2-3-1. I was looking at a couple of other formations as well. At one point I had like an old school Christmas tree going. I hadn't tried any of these, but I was just messing around on here to see what would fit. There was nothing I felt overly confident with to go forward, because I think to get the best out of the midfield that we've got, I think we either need to go 3 at the back or wingerless. Problem is, don't have enough defenders to go 3 at the back, and we've got really good wingers, in theory anyway. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to stick with what we've got, and we're just going to hope for the best. Now, I think goal scoring, although you can see on here we have scored a decent number of goals, but maybe not as many as we have in the past. I mean, we're the 3rd best in the league. That is pretty good going, but I think normally we're like the best. We haven't scored as many as we normally do. So I have made an action to try and solve that, and that action is I have actually got use for Makoko over the line, and we've been able to do that because we've sold Zardas. We're not in the transfer window yet. These deals have not come into fruition yet, but I have made these moves, and the board's given me more money. So we've even got a little bit more money. I'm going to lower that a little bit because that wage budget will drop down once Makoko comes in. We've got a little bit more money to try and do something with when we get to January, or even beforehand. I will probably wait to January just so I can see how all of this shakes out, because we want to make sure we don't go over. At the moment, I think we'd have about half of that wage budget left, if that's correct, at the bottom. And money-wise, that should have already adjusted. So yeah, we could go ahead with that if we wanted to, but we're not going to. We're going to stick with it and leave it as it is. But yeah, that's how things have been going. It has been very up and down, but it's fine. It's okay. We're still in the Champions League spots. We're in 4th. We shouldn't be anywhere near the Champions League spots in our 2nd season in La Liga, so I'm still pretty happy with it. But there's been some times when we've been playing and it's been, I've really just had a moment of, because it's been rough. It has been rough. Interesting, Girona down in the relegation zone. That is very interesting. But anyway, on to the matter at hand today. I've not actually got to the game yet, which is interesting, and we've got an injury to Da Costa as well. I thought we'd actually got to the game, and I've really not, which means I've not even done the press conference yet. Oh no, I have done a press conference because now it's the day of the game. I didn't even get to the game. I'm so unorganised in this game. What's going on? I was debating showing you the Celta Vigo game instead, but we're going to go with the Athletic Bilbao game just because it's at home, and I think having a game at home might be a good thing. Apparently Da Costa wants to be an attacking midfielder. I don't remember ever promising him that, but apparently I did. So we might have a bit of an issue with him at some point. We're having an issue with a couple of players as well. That's the whole reason Zardas is leaving. He wanted more game time, and I was just like, well, if you want more game time, you're gonna have to go somewhere else. And that's what we've ended up doing. So we are here. I'm just going to put in a couple of instructions that are recommended. So we are here where we are. There was one or two others. I think Doumbia was another one who was not very happy. So maybe we look at another left back. Maybe that's what we do. What did you want? You want to be on the weaker side? Okay. Let's do that for you, Sanchez. Let's do that. And then I always like to press a defender as well. So let's do that. You know, we'll go in hard on Vencedor because he is a good player. We'll just try and make his life a little bit difficult as well. And he's injury prone. So let's try and do that. So yeah, we had a couple of issues with a couple of players. Now, good things that have happened. Strikers has moved back to Mazzala because Hlajek has started to play a striker, and he played quite well in the last game, actually. So I think Strikers is going to go back to Mazzala, which is his natural position. That's going to be more long-term. Veloso will be his understudy. Jota has not completely started to play well again, but he's getting there. He had a really, really good game against Levante. Really decent game against Porto as well. Like, he's looking a little bit better. We're starting to get a bit more out of him, which is good to see. Hopefully that can continue. So he's not going to start today, but he is on the bench. We are starting Cruz, who has actually started to pick up again as well, which has been nice to see. So this is going to be the 11 we're going to be using. It's De Gea in goal, Carrillo, Okoli, Vandenberg, and Miranda in defence. Gomez, Stoichkos, and Orellana in the midfield with Cruz and Furic supporting Hlajek up front. I'm going to take Da Costa out of the team. I'm actually going to... You know what? We're going to use one of the youngsters. Let me do that. I know who I want. I know exactly who I want. I want Zamorano. Not going to start, obviously, but let's do that. Maybe get him a few minutes as well. I popped Zamorano on the loan list because he's a really good young player. He's got potential. I don't think the B team are selecting him as much as they should be, and I really want them to. So the next solution is just to send him out on loan to somewhere who will play him, because he just needs regular game time now, like a lot of our youngsters do. So I have put a couple of the higher potential ones who are like getting towards 18, 19. I've popped them on the loan list just to try and get them a few more minutes elsewhere. I have got the fluffiest hair in the world today. Also got like a random bit there, which is great. There we go. Not that you need to see me adjusting my hair on camera. I might edit this out. I might leave it in comedy value because why the devil not? But the game is underway. So I can't edit it out now anyway. The game is underway, and really, Athletic Bilbao should be beating us. However, we have about been in better form recently, but we are better positioned in the table. We're in the Champions League spots, they are very much not, and we've stolen the ball from them straight away. And Chris Furic has had a rough couple of games, despite being excellent for us for the majority of the season, has gone and put us in the lead, which is obviously delightful. Very happy with that. We pressed them just so hard out the gate. Hlajek is doing the work that Jovic just wishes he could. Jovic has started to play a little bit better now we've got him fully fit. The problem with him is that he just doesn't get in positions to score goals that often. He's got an assist to his name now, but he hasn't got any goals to his name. It's obviously concerning. Obviously very concerning. Now, Hlajek did play a good part in getting that goal there. Once we've got Moukoko in, who is here for the end of next season, by the way, Furic is on one today. Get in there, Chris Furic. I'm so glad he stayed. He's been our best player this season. I'm so glad he did not leave for Dortmund. Miranda, clever free kick. I love free kicks like that where it's just not a standard bang top bins. As cool as they look, I love a well-worked free kick like that. Furic with 2 goals. That took me off a train of thought. Yeah, so we've got Moukoko for 2 seasons. Hlajek is playing as a striker at the moment because he's currently the best option there. Stoichkos obviously started the season quite well there. Dropped off a little bit. Once Moukoko comes in, Hlajek will become a winger. He'll go back to being a winger. He'll go back to being an inside forward because the right side is sorted. It's Furic and Cruz. Jota can play there as well. And the left side is Jota. Stoichkos, behave yourself. What a goal that is. Low, driven with power. Oh my word, what a strike this is. Right, Carrillo heads it in. Cruz gets it to Gomez. Gomez into Orellana. Orellana to Miranda. Lovely passing work. And Striker just boots it. Oh, that is beautiful. That is a thing of beauty. And all of a sudden it's 3-0. Hlajek will be on the left. That's where I was eventually getting to with that. Hlajek will be on the left-hand side. And he's been fine there when we've used him, so he'll be a good option there. I'm really happy with this start to the game. I hope we carry it on. What I'd love from today, and I am touching the wood of the table, what I'd love today is a clean sheet, because we have been doing the thing where we've been comfortable, we've been 2 or 3 goals up, and then we give away a sloppy goal. I don't want that today. I want a clean sheet. And although I've touched wood, I know I've just jinxed it. Oh, wow, that is a poor pass. And Carrillo has broken forward here. Over to Luis Cruz now. Cruz cuts inside, loses the ball, but it's only going to go as far as Orellana. Gets to Miranda. Back to Orellana. Running around here. Orellana has improved since the start of the season. Oh, my word. What a goal that is from Luis Cruz. That is a stunner. That is an absolute stunner. I'm giving all the praise in the world to Orellana here because he started the season looking out of his depth. He's really improved. Gets the ball to Cruz here. What a beauty that is. Couple of worldies in this game so far. One from one from Stoichkos and one from Cruz. Oh my word, we are battering them. Right, Carrillo now. Into Cruz. Cruz whips it in. Looking for the header of Orellana here. Can't quite get it on there. And now there is a chance for Bilbao to break, but it's a terrible piece of defending, and Hlajek is just unlucky. The one bad thing with Hlajek is his finishing. He's not a good finisher. I'm playing him as an advanced forward because he just gets in and around them and causes a bit of chaos, whereas as a deep line forward, he doesn't quite do that. And the problem with him as a deep line forward is he doesn't really have the passing range to do it either. So the best compromise is him being an advanced forward, where he just kind of gets in and around everyone and does stuff. The problem with Furic is he's on 2 goals, but he's injured. I'm not going to risk him. We're going to bring on Jota, and we'll see what happens with Jota. Now, I have got him set up to cut inside and shoot less often because I don't want him to be very wasteful. I'm quite happy for him to cut inside and cause a bit of madness. So we are going to do that. There's no point in kind of risking Furic anymore. We're 4 goals up. We might as well bring someone on. You can go and have a little bit of fun. That feels like the thing that makes the most sense. Quick shout out as well to Joe Gomez. At no point have I thought I really missed Danilovic. Joe Gomez has been a solid midfielder for us. Now, the only problem is he's on loan. So we then have to look at him and think, well, can we get him back next season? I think we probably can. It's just we need to get to that point when we get to it. Because, again, next season is, unless I change my mind, the final season of the save. I withhold the right to do another season if I feel like it's necessary. But at the moment, it is going to be the final season of the save. And I think he would be, unless we get a massive transfer budget, which I really doubt that we will do, I think he would be a stunning signing if we can get him for the final season. Remember, the aim of this save is to try and win the La Liga. I don't think our squad, as well as we've done, is nowhere near topping off La Liga at the moment. We would need a Leicester kind of season where all of the big teams don't perform well and we just get the run of a lifetime. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think we're far off of it, to be fair, because we finished like 3rd last season. We're 4th at the moment just because of some bad results. It's not impossible. I think that's going to be offside. The flag is up. Someone drifted offside there. It was wonderful work from Jota, though. Jota was looking sharp there, but I think his pass ended up being offside. I think it was his ball as well. I don't think this is getting given. No, it's not. We'll see the offside in a second. I'm pretty sure I know where it was. So Jota does some really wonderful work here. It's there. I think it's Stoichkos who's drifted off. Yeah, it is, yeah. Who passes it to Orellana. They're directly involved. Lovely work, though, from Jota. I mean, his rating deserves to go up for that because the work was fantastic. It's Stoichkos who kind of ruined it. Right, ball moving again. Vandenberg, who, again, has been a good signing since we brought him in. He and Akali have turned into the centre-back partnership. Longley does get involved every now and then, but injury and the fact that he's a bit older have... Hlajek's offside. Hlajek's offside. It's another offside goal. We're banging the goals in, but half of them are not counting, which is a bit frustrating. He will get disallowed. He was a country mile offside. Yeah, there we go. 2 disallowed goals. Bit frustrating. We're getting the disallowed goals. I mean, yeah. I mean, he then tries to hold his run. He's already past the man. I love the fact that he tried to hold it. Oh, goodness me. Right. We shouldn't have stopped because it's on the highlight, but we have done. Right. Changes. I'm going to rest Hlajek. He's been playing quite well recently, so let's give him a break. We'll bring Jovic on and just see what Jovic can do. And then for the next trick, we'll take Orellana off. We'll bring on Zamorano and let him have a few minutes. And then I'm going to bring Comas on because he just needs some more minutes. I'm going to rest Gomez, actually, because Gomez has been solid for us. Comas is, in theory, just as good. So we need to get him a few minutes. I really should bring on Adrian Rodriguez because he needs minutes as well. I am trying to loan him out at the moment. Worst case scenario, he will go to one of our affiliates because we have got a couple of affiliates that I haven't really used. So we will probably move him on to that. But let's get Zamorano a few minutes and then we can try and get him loaned out to someone else. This has been a fantastic game for us. We've absolutely dominated them. My concern now is that they've got a highlight. My concern is we're going to not get that clean sheet. Oh, my word. That was a bit sloppy from our defence there. I think Okoli wasn't... Okoli hasn't had a bad game, but he's certainly not had as good a game. There's a bit of a concern there. I would very much like us just to clear this out of the way and just not concede. Again, I just love a clean sheet. Lovely work from Miranda getting that cleared out. He's had a great game today, Miranda. A couple of assists. He is very much an offensive fullback, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Did I make my final change? I didn't make my final change. Let's make my final change. I'm actually going to take Okoli off. We'll bring on Longley. We'll move those 2 rounds. We'll get Longley some minutes as well. Vandenberg's been so good. And Okoli, I kind of already committed he was going to be the starting centre-back. It means that Longley's the one that misses out. That is a stunning result against Bilbao. I know Bilbao are a weird one because they only sign Basque players. It's going to limit their talent pool to a degree. Maybe only to a degree. But because of that, I imagine that's why they're probably struggling, because they're having to get players in who maybe aren't fully ready for the first team, maybe. I don't know. Either way, I still think that's a great result. And the clean sheet is the thing I'm happy about, because it's been a while since we've had one. I think it feels like it's been a while since we've had one anyway. I could also be completely lying, and I probably am. Let's have a quick check. When was the last time we had a clean sheet before this? Actually, it wasn't that long ago against Levante, but we go these kind of gaps of 4-3 games, 5 games before having one. I mean, the last time before the Levante game was Real Valladolid, which was a disappointing draw. The time before that was a smashing of Real Madrid, where we won 3-0. Which we've just effectively done against Athletic Bilbao. Right, I'm going to rest the players for a day. Give them a cheeky little break. And then we've got the big one. I say the big one of the big ones in this Champions League schedule against Inter Milan. By the way, who have we played in the Champions League? Nice, Galatasaray, Manchester City, Juventus, Porto, Inter's next. Then we've got Monaco, and then the final one is Young Boys. At least we finished with a, in theory, relatively easy one. But my goodness me, that's a bit of a run. That is just a bit of a run. Right, I'll skip through and we'll come back for Inter Milan. Don't think that one's going to go as well as this one did. Time for the game against Inter Milan. It is, of course, away, so it is at the San Siro. And we're unchanged. We are literally going with the same 11. So De Gea is in goal. It's Carrillo, Okoli, Vandenberg and Miranda in defence. Gomez, Stoikers and Orellana in the midfield, with Cruz and Furic supporting Klojek up front. Kept everything else exactly the same. The only difference is, of course, we do now have Da Costa available, so there's no Zamorano. So with that, let's get to the game and let's see whether we can find ourselves a way to get 3 points in this group. We desperately need, I think, because at the moment we're not doing so well in the table. That will come up in a moment. We'll keep on this page just to have a quick look at it when it comes up, but it's a very strong Inter team. Martinez is incredible, obviously. Joe Felix in the middle as well as the attacking midfield is a sensational get for them. It really genuinely is. But I do just want to, I mean, compared to our team, goodness me, I do just want to see the table and just see how it looks. Is it going to come up? Is it going to come up? I don't think it is. It would have come up on that same bit. Okay, no table here. We'll get it when we actually go through to the game itself. So let's have a quick look before we do anything. So at the moment, Inter are just on the cusp of going from playoffs to automatic qualification. If we look at ourselves, we're kind of in the middle. We're not necessarily at risk right now, but we do need to start getting a result or two. I mean, the Young Boys game at the end might be vital to us going at least through to the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we're not expected really to do anything. It's our first year in the competition, and we are overachievers in every sense, so it is what it is. But hopefully we can get something going. At the moment, our match momentum is looking not that bad, actually. We're looking like we're competing relatively well. Our passing isn't quite as sharp as theirs. They're having more of the ball at the moment. But there you go. They've started to kick on a bit more momentum on their side. They're going to be a tough team. I mean, you saw what happened with Manchester City. We got a late consolation, which made it look better, but they did dominate us. But then, look at games like against Real Madrid, where we just bossed them completely, and they didn't have a rotated team. It is possible for us to do it. It's just we can't bank on us doing it every time. There's going to be times when we're just going to be outclassed. I feel like today is going to be one of those times. Maybe. I mean, at the moment, it's looking like it's happening straight away. This guy, I tell you what a run that was from him. He ended up not doing anything with it. We don't clear it out very well, but we do end up getting the danger away. I'm quite happy with the fact it's still 0-0, but I think we're good enough to get chances. I mean, Bastoni is incredible, Pavard is aging. He's the equivalent of our Longley. Dumfries is better in theory than he actually is, and DeMarco is a good fullback. I mean, their fullbacks are really good. Their goalkeeper is sketchy, though. I've used Lunin before. He can concede a clanger. So, I mean, not on FM24, but I've used him in FM23 and he can concede a clanger. I feel like he's going to be the same. I'm just going to G everyone up. I'm not going to have a go at anyone. Let's just try and G everyone up. And let's have a quick look and see. Right, so, Logic not having a great game. Apparently, Furic has picked up another knock, which is so infuriating. We'll bring Jota on. Again, I just don't want to risk Furic. We'll bring Jota on. Defensively, the worst player is Vandenberg. I don't know whether that means I should bring Longley on. He's not necessarily having a bad game or anything like that. Logic is nervous. I'm tempted to bring Jovic on. Because am I right in thinking that Jovic is formerly of Inter? No, he went to Fiorentina. I don't know why I got that mixed up, but I thought he might have played for them. I thought maybe there's like some weird kind of serendipity there that might have happened. I'll leave Logic as it is. I'll leave everything else as it is for the time being. And we'll just try and G everyone up. In fact, no, I will have a quick look at their opposition and just see if there's anything else that's been recommended. I've not made any other changes. I'm not going to go in hard on some of these players. I mean, you know what? We'll go in hard on him just because. We're pressing the centre-backs, trying to get them to make a mistake. I think we're going to have more joy with Pavard than we are with Bastoni. So do you know what? We're going to take that off. We'll leave Bastoni. We'll try and get him on his right foot. Martinez. Don't really want to mark Martinez because I feel like he'll get the jump on us. He's too quick. He's too brave as well. So we'll leave Martinez as is. He's got reasonable. No, he's all strong. So we'll leave it as that. We'll leave it as that. I mean, this guy was getting the jump on us before, so maybe we will try and go in hard on him and try and cut his legs out from under him. That feels like a good plan. We'll just go with it. We've held on. Let's demand more. And let's see whether we can just get something else going on. Logic clears out relatively well. We just couldn't get on the end of it there. I thought we might be able to. This guy, I tell you what, he's a sensational winger. And he's ended up getting the assist for Joe Felix. And it is 1-0 to Inter, which we've seen coming. They've dominated the play. We've not really had any attacks on camera. It's disappointing that we couldn't get on the ball there. That's what's done us there. But here, I tell you what a pass that is. But Carrillo probably should have run with his man there. But it is what it is. Right, we actually have now got possession for a little bit, hopefully. We kick off. And we're going to see what we can now do. Right, Gomez to Akoli. We're building from the back here. Stoikers. It's giving the ball away. Poor from Stoikers. Really poor from Stoikers. And now here come Inter Milan again. Our passing has just gone out the window here. We are a little bit tired at the moment, to be fair. We've not been used to this run of 2 games every week up until this season. So we're just not coping with it very well at all. Right. I think we make some very, very quick changes here because that wasn't good. Veloso's going to come on. Change number 1. Orellana's going to come off for Da Costa. Change number 2. Vandenberg's going to come off for Longley. So we've actually made 4 of our 5 changes already. Which is a bit bold, I know. But we're going to do that. And we're just going to hope we're going to get something going. Maybe with a slightly different engine room. Someone else helping in the defence. Maybe we can get something going. Right, we've got a free kick. Miranda floating it in, looking for the head of someone. It's flicked on, headed over. Nothing doing, not even a corner. But it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. Right, another throw in. Another highlight with us on the ball. Right, throw goes to Akoli. Da Costa now to Longley. Longley into Miranda. Miranda tries to get it through to Da Costa. It's kind of poor, really, but we end up with possession afterwards. But it's given away. Miranda gives the ball away. And here come Inter again. Sloppy in possession, which we were not in the Bilbao game. It's so disappointing. But again, it's a midweek game. We're a little bit tired. We've had a bit less time. Ah, it's poor. This guy, I tell you what, he's been sensational. He really, really has been. We need to try and stop him somehow. I don't know how to do it because he's been their best player. He has been their best player. I'm just thinking, do we... What side is he on? He's their right winger. Let's get Miranda. Though he's not the best at it. Try and get Miranda to sort him out. Just want to get him to try and just destroy him a little bit, if at all possible. Because they're running the game through him. And now, you see, they've gone to the right-hand side. So it's just Inter Milan. It's chalk and cheese. Their team is so much better than ours. It really is. Right, let's see what happens now. Because it's going to go to him. And really, I want to see him get the living daylights kicked out of him. Oh, that's so poor from our defence. That's so poor. We've just let it go over the top of us there. And that is game over now. It's going to be like the Man City game. We might get a consolation goal, but that is really poor. Go inside. Dumfries does a really, really nice pass here. I mean, we let Joe Felix just do that. For some reason, I'm just assuming Joe Felix is going to get on the end of that. We've berated the team. We've had a go at them. We're going to go attacking. And we'll just see what we can get out of the game. I'm actually even gonna we're 2 down. We might as well go for it now. Let's just go for it. Let's just try and pop him onto ball winning midfielder. Let's pop him as advanced playmaker on attack. Put him on inverted winger. We're just gonna. We might as well just go a bit silly and try and just press them properly now. And then I'm not going to make the final change just because what will happen is we'll make the final change and we'll get an injury. Right, Jota now on the ball. Goes for the shot. Wins a corner. Okay, we've got an opportunity to get something from this here. And it is a corner. Can we... Oh, don't even get the highlight. We don't even get the highlight. Right, fire at the boys. Corner to them. It's probably going to be 3 here. Coley, switch back to Thuram. De Gea holds on to it. Right, I'm going to make the change that I want to make. And it's going to be Luis Cruz off. In fact, we'll move Hlojek to the wing and we'll bring on... No, we're not bringing on Sol. We're bringing on Jovic. Yeah. Bring on Luka Jovic and see what happens. See if he can actually... Imagine if he got his first goal for us here. It'd be ridiculous. I mean, he's not going to get anything for it, but imagine if that happens. Right, Jota, it's poor. Again, our passing, our pressing has been so poor today. It really, really has been. The problem is that the kind of pre-match training tactics thing that comes up where you can train either defending the team in possession, dealing with transitions, or dealing with you in possession, and you can train which set piece you want to deal with in your training. I did it out of possession, which means we focus on them having the ball. We've actually had a decent amount of the ball today. Actually, we've not. It's 35%. But I think the problem is, because I've focused on them having the ball, I've not focused on what we do when we have it. And what's happened is we focused on defending too much and have cut through us because we're sitting back. If we'd have focused on transitional play, I think we could have had more in this game. But as it stands, they've cut through us. I mean, that goal also probably not helped by the fact that we went with the stupid formation. But 3-0 is a little bit humbling. It is a little bit humbling. But it's Inter Milan. But bearing in mind with that context, it is Inter Milan. But we now need to start looking at that Champions League group. And we now need to start, I don't know about worrying, but we need to start thinking about where the results are going to come from. Again, games forward from here. We've got Monaco, which that's an easier game than Inter Milan, and we've got Young Boys. So we've got another potential 6 points to get. We get those 6 points. That puts us on 13 points. At the moment, that's an automatic spot. But it probably won't be. If we were to lose both of those games, there's a real chance we get knocked out of the Champions League. There's a real chance we get knocked out. Now, bearing in mind, what do the club want us to do? The club wants us to basically just be competitive. They're happy with what we've done so far. But in terms of our actual results in the Champions League, if you look, we beat Nice, we beat Galatasaray, and we drew against Porto. They're the only games where we've had a non-negative result. Yeah, we've lost against Inter, we've lost against Man City, we've lost against Juventus. We've lost more than we've won. So we need to start getting results. I think we can do that with Monaco. I think we can get a result there, especially at home. But I think Young Boys, we need to be looking at that as a must-win to get us through to the next stage of Champions League. But after the good back-to-back results of Espanyol and Athletic Bilbao, that is a really disappointing result. And now we need to try and pick ourselves up because we've now got Celta Vigo, who, don't know if you realise, but we're the biggest rival of them and they're the biggest rival of us. We've now got to try and pick ourselves up for that. Which is fine. Again, context is key here. It's Inter Milan. They're a good team. And we've overachieved a lot this season. But, I mean, we're It's just so tight because we've just been going with the first team, because the first team have been the team that have been playing the best. But maybe we need to be looking at a bit more rotation here because they are starting to look really tired. But that's not a problem for you. That's a problem for me. What we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll go through and we'll come back in this period here. We might come back for Copa del Rey because we seem to have a love affair with the Copa del Rey. So we'll come back for Copa del Rey and Monaco. We'll ignore the Super Copa. Not bothered about that. Unless we get to the final and we win it, in which case I'm very bothered about it. Do you know what? No, we're not doing that. We're coming back for Monaco and Young Boys. We're coming back for both Champions League games because it's really important we get a result. It's really important we get a result. We'll play through everything else. We'll come back for those two. And we'll hopefully be able to get through to the next round of the Champions League. That'd be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to leave a big like on there for me. And don't forget to subscribe as well. It's completely free to do so. And you'll make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu. You guys have been awesome. And I will see you in the next one. Cheers.